Hey guys, welcome back to the Crafty Couple. If you're new to the channel, we are super excited to have you here, so thank you for stopping by. And if you're already a viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for the continued support that you guys give us. Next month is our year mark here on YouTube, so we'd love to hit 100,000 subscribers. We're getting very close, so if you haven't subscribed, make sure to join the family. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up and let us know in the comments which project's your favorite. For our first project, we're going to be using these little wood boxes from Dollar Tree and these smaller bamboo skewers, also from Dollar Tree. And we're actually only going to be using this inner part. So this bigger box, you can save that for another craft. I always love trying to use these items as much as I can for different projects. And for this one, all we need is the smaller box. For this project, you will need 3 of these little boxes, so just make sure to have those available, and then these skewers. So we're going to start by cutting the skewers all around the outside edges. Now, I wish it was as simple as just measuring one of these boxes and cutting. However, they are all a little bit different in size. So what I would recommend doing is lining up the skewers on all of the different sides just to make sure they fit better. Because if you measure it off of one side, the other side might be a little bit short or long, and we don't want to have that. Now that we have everything cut, we can move on to staining. We're using this dark walnut stain to do all 3 boxes and the skewers. Now, originally what I wanted to do with these is create like a mini planter with greenery or flowers. I also thought you could use it for like office organization. So if you're doing that, I would recommend staining the entire inside of the box since you will most likely see that. But since my idea was to have these as mini planters and even hang them on the wall, I'm not going to worry about staining the back of them or the inside since they'll be covered with greenery or flowers. Once everything's been stained, we can move on to gluing these pieces. Now we're just going to take all of these little wood pieces that we cut and glue them around the outside edges of that square. Once we have those outside pieces glued down, we can measure the inside for our X. Again, this is one of those things where you will want to measure each part individually because the X that we're making here won't necessarily be the same as the X's on the other side of the box or the other boxes. So even though it's a little bit more tedious, I would recommend doing that just to make it look a little bit cleaner and have those pieces fit better. Once you have all those cut to size, you can go ahead and stain those again with the dark walnut stain, and then we'll go ahead with gluing those on. Once you've completed the X on the front, you can simply do the same thing on both the other sides. Again, just measuring those to make sure that they fit properly. And then you can do all 3 of those steps with the other 3 planters if you choose to do that many. And then this greenery is some that we got from Walmart. I believe it's $1, $1.50 for one pick, and there's quite a bit that comes with it. And then I'm just pulling these individual stems off to fit into each box. Originally, I was going to hang these on the wall as little mini planters, but I decided to just put it on the table. I think it looked really pretty as table decor, but if you see here, you could put a nail in the wall and then just hook it on the back. Let me know in the comments, guys, would you use it as table decor on the wall as kind of a floating planter or as maybe like office organization?
For this project, we are going to start with these wood planks from Dollar Tree, and we will need 2 packs for this project. We are going to start by laying them out, and the very top one will be one of the sides, the middle one will be the bottom, and then the bottom one will be the other side. To begin assembling, I grabbed the middle piece and put hot glue on the side, and then I put the back piece onto it. And then we'll do the same thing for the front side, so just put hot glue on that middle piece and put the front side on. Now to put the rest together, grab that middle piece from the next section and glue it to the other middle piece. Then run hot glue on the bottom side and up the other, and put that front piece on. And you will just continue this process for the whole length of the shelf. This is what it should look like after all the pieces are hot glued together, but now we need to add some supports, so I'll be grabbing these craft sticks from Dollar Tree and I will be hot gluing them in between each of the sections, on the bottom and the two sides. Then I went in with the Minwax dark walnut stain and stained everything. After I had stained everything, I realized that one of the pieces, the grain went the opposite way, so I would just keep that in mind when you are putting it together. And then it needed just a little bit more support, so I grabbed these Jenga blocks. They're called Tumbling tower blocks at Dollar Tree, and I will be gluing them where 4 pieces meet. If you are to do this, I would definitely do this before you stain it. So go ahead and melt some of the glue if there is glue where you want to put that Jenga block, and then hot glue one of the sides and the bottom and place it in the corner. I ended up using 6 of these Jenga pieces. So to attach this to the wall, you can put some screws in the very back. What I decided to do was grab some nautical rope from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be tying it at both ends just to give it more of a rustic farmhouse look. Once you've cut it to size, you'll want to just take a lighter and burn off the ends just to make them more clean. And then you will take twine and wrap it at the top, since making a knot with this nautical rope is really hard. And then to decorate it, I used 2 frames from Dollar Tree, a little glass vase, and then the lamb's ear and lavender is from Walmart. If you're wondering how I got the pictures to look this way, I will leave a link right here on a video where I showed you guys exactly how to get this look.
Last project, we're going to be doing our hanging planter, and I'm really excited for this project. I wanted to keep it simple and easy for you guys to do, but add a little bit of character with some of the distressing and then the stain. So first thing we want to do is go ahead and cut off that threaded end of the plunger, and then we can stain it with that same dark walnut stain. To hang it, we're going to be using these utility hooks from Dollar Tree, and I didn't want to keep them brand new shiny, so we're going to add some distressing. The way I like to do this personally is with a wet sponge. So get a little bit of water handy and then dump it in there, squeeze out the water, and then dip it in your paint. And then if you feel like the paint's drying up a little bit too much, you can always dip it back in the water. And then we're going to just dab that all around the hook using an ink chalk paint from Waverly. And we're going to be doing the same method here with the tin buckets. They look good, like they are galvanized, but they looked a little too new, so I wanted to age them and give them a little bit of distressing. So I haven't done the handle yet, and you can see right there it's quite a bit brighter versus the actual bucket has now been darkened quite a bit. After we add our first base layer of that ink paint, what we can do now is go in with more of that ink paint. Now this, you can still water it down, or if you'd like to do it a little bit more just straight paint, you take your same sponge, dip it in your paint, and then go along the bottom, and you can go along the top or even that little ridge that's kind of at the top of the bucket, and that way we're going to give a little bit more distressing around the top and the bottom, just those edges where you'd see more wear. And then the final part is to add some of this Waverly antique wax to give it some of the brown color and add a little bit more to that rust. I like to usually use a few different colors. It just gives it more dimension and more character. Now this part's totally optional. I thought it was really cute to add this little sign from Dollar Tree with the fresh eggs daily and the chicken. You don't have to add that. You could add like a third bucket in the middle there if you wanted to, or just completely leave that space blank. But I thought it was a cute addition. If you're wanting to put this in like your kitchen area, I think it would be perfect. The greenery, this is a pick from IKEA. I believe it was about $5, so you could just add simple greenery like this. Or if you wanted to, what I decided to do is add some lamb's ear and some lavender. And then a quick tip for you guys, maybe you already know this or do this, but if you want to add a little volume and make it easier for you to arrange the plants and use less, you can stick some garbage bags or grocery bags here at the bottom, and then it'll help you arrange it and make it look more full without using as much greenery or flowers. So again, I'm just arranging the lamb's ear and the lavender in here as needed. And I'm curious what you guys think when I was talking about the little sign here in the middle. Would you guys use the sign? Do you like how that looks, or do you prefer it with no sign at all, or would you add a third bucket in the middle? Let me know in the comments what you guys would do. To hang it on the wall, we're going to use these utility hooks that we painted and put them on each end, and then the buckets will hang in the middle, that little middle gap of where the hooks are, and then we'll put one on each side. Again, like I said, if you wanted to remove the sign, you could, and you could add a third bucket in the middle, whichever one you prefer. If you guys love farmhouse decor, make sure to go through to our playlist full of our other farmhouse projects. We'll leave a link right here for that. And if you guys missed our last project, it was all boho decor. I know you love that as well, so we'll leave a link here so you can go check that out. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can be notified every time we upload a new video.